First of all, quick shout out to my very good buddy Dave Sharp. Mate, thank you. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you always. This snare drum, I did an unboxing video actually. It's the end of March, it's the end of August now. I think it probably did it around the end of June, sort of early, maybe the first week of July. And I got that. It was my annual birthday present to myself. I buy a snare drum every year. Seems a bit odd, doesn't it? But I bought this drum and I played it for a week, and then what with one thing and another, I have review stuff coming in, and you know, so it gets swapped out, like, you know, happens all the time. But swap that out, gets put back in the box, gets put on the shelf, and then I kind of embarrassingly kind of forget that it's there. And as silly as that sounds, embarrassing as that sounds, the small plus side to that is that I get to rediscover it. It's always been the case with cymbals. If you didn't, I actually have far more cymbals than I do snare drums. And usually the rediscovery thing is something that happens when I go to the spares flight case in the other room and I dig out and go, oh, fantastic! I'd forgotten I had all of these. And it's a small thing, it's a very silly thing, but it's a nice thing to rediscover things that you'd kind of sort of forgotten. I kind of not exactly forgotten I had this. It was fairly prominently sort of in the other room, up at about eye level, so it's not something I could have missed, but it's kind of one of those things that it slipped to the back of my mind. When I was thinking about what drum I should feature in this video, I realised that one was there, and I thought that was this, you know, this would be the perfect drum for now. So here we go. Right, so the first thing, I mean, I'm going to have to read a little bit off the website, because and he says I'm peeling a bit of dirt off here. It's disgusting. It's dirty already. I'm going to read a little bit off the website, off Pearl's website about this drum, because I've actually gone and forgotten. So the for Pearl 14x5 hybrid exotic VectorCast snare drum. A unique shell provides fat and lively tones, and that it does. Because it's synthetic, it does genuinely provide a very lively sound. The Pearl Hybrid Exotic 14x5 snare drum features a revolutionary VectorCast shell, a single strand of resin spun out in X shapes to form one of the more flexible shells yet. The thin shell is extremely durable and offers ultimate flexibility and versatility. All hybrid exotic snares are also fitted with Pearl's acclaimed Super Hoop 2 hoops, STL 100 lugs, SR 1000 strainer, glad because I forgot that on the unboxing, coated ambassador head, and chrome hardware. So, there you go. I mean, you know what, to be honest, it's fairly succinct, but it's true. I spent about a week, probably, mate, a week and a half, whatever, jamming on this before I had to change it out, and I really enjoyed it. I had my eye on this drum for quite a while, and it was a drum that I was aware of. It was a drum I'd been thinking about on and off for quite a while too. I'm pretty sure the retailer had it for quite a while before I bought it. And because this is a discontinued drum, I think the line's been out for quite a while, and there are different drums in the sort of hybrid exotic line as such, different models. But this one, I think I'd seen the deeper version actually. I think someone else, one of the shops in Scotland, had the deeper version of this, and I ummed and ahed about that one for quite a long time, and I ultimately decided to go with something else. But I finally came across this one, and I was looking at my options within the price sort of range that I had available to me, and this genuinely seemed like the best buy. I've got lots of wood drums. I've got lots of metal drums, all different types of metal. I've got acrylic drums. I've got a carbon fibre drum. I've got a concrete snare drum, actually the Kumu, which I did a few years ago. I got that, and you know, they're all different, and I like things that are different. I like things that are slightly not abnormal, but you know, just a little bit sort of left of centre. And you know, this is one of those drums I look at now and go, why did you not buy it sooner? As I've said, it's a 14x5, and it's a synthetic shell. As the little blurb said, it's like a sort of a cross, sort of a crossed sort of, not laminated, but you know, a cross sort of interwoven sort of shell, and you can kind of see the crossing of the pattern in the shell when you look at it. You can also, it's very clear as well that it's a synthetic shell. It's kind of, yeah, it even sounds sort of synthetic when you do that, but it's got that sort of synthetic feel to it. And the other cool thing, which I'm going to guess is very much like a wood shell, or indeed any sort of older patinaed drum shell, a metal drum shell, is that I'm sure it's not just like a byproduct of the material and the way it's made, is you get these sort of like patches sort of here and there across the shell, which I'm guessing makes each shell unique. But I'm going to call it like the grain of the material, because that seems to be what it is to me. You know, it adds a little bit of character to the shell without making it just a sort of a bland, sort of dark gunmetal grey, blackish type, you know, sort of colour. It just gives it a little bit more character, especially when it picks it up in the light. So the drum comes with, as I said, it comes with a coated ambassador on the top, and you got your regular hazy on the bottom there. It's got pearl wires. In fact, these are the SN1420Cs. The lugs are, I like the design of the lugs. I like the fact that, unlike most of the other pearl drums that I've got, these are these little sort of nodal designs, 10 per head. I do like that. I mean, it's just a little different in terms of the visual. The tension rods have got this, I can't remember what they call them now. It's like it's a sort of a lockable sort of micro tensioning thing going on, and you also get this lovely little key. A little bit more, it's like, if you're familiar with this sort of modern pearl key design, it's that with this sort of like little insert in it, and there's a little pin in there. I don't know if that's going to pick that up. There's a little pin in there, which actually fits in. You know, obviously it sits on the tension rod normally, but then you can sort of just tweak the locking there like that, and just sort of lock that off. I mean, it seems to work. I've not gigged this drum, obviously, because you know, for people watching this in the future, this is in the middle of the pandemic still. So you know, there's no such gigging, no such thing as gigging anymore. And I'm sure when my you know, when my daughter gets to be my age, you know, hopefully they are still gigging at that point. But I mean, that, as I said, it seems to work well. This is the only pearl drum I've ever seen this on, actually, but it seems to work quite nicely. You got the 2.3mm super hoops. I had one of my old Ludwig Black Beauties. I got that second hand about 17 years ago, and it actually came with these super hoops on it, and I really like them. I mean, they're good, they're clean, they're sturdy. Good, clean and sturdy. Right, now that's something that I would actually describe this snare mechanism as well. I've got a variant of this, I think, on my the acrylic or the crystal beat free floater. Albeit, I think this one is probably either slightly hot rodded, meaning it's a slightly later version, or it's just a slightly different variant on a theme. I'm not really sure of the chronology of this snare mechanism, but I like this. I know I've gone on and on about the Trick GS007 strainer before, and how much I like it. I still do. I love it. I think it's my favourite mechanism. I also like the Donette ones, and there's been a couple of others as well that I've come across as well. I'm just struggling to think of which ones they were. Actually, yeah, I mean, Sonar does quite a nice one. The modern sort of piston, piston thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's terrible, but this one though, yeah, I mean, it does. You know, it's one of those things. It does the two on and off. It's like country and western, you know, both types. You know, it's on and off, but it is really smooth, and I just like it. It's compact, it's stylish. You've got unlike the other one I've got on the Crystal Beat down there somewhere, this actually has a lock on it, so there's a button there that you have to press, but otherwise it doesn't move. I mean, there's a bit of play in it, but it doesn't really move, and I dig that, because that's the sort of thing you can easily just flip off while you're playing, and go to that sort of Danny Carey-esque sound with the wires off. So flipping it over to the other side, that's how you just basically adjust the tension of the wires. Again, this locks off. Small things and all that, you know. I mean, other people may do this, and I don't say that I know every single brand of every bit of hardware that's ever been made, obviously. But this I like. You can't move that. You push it down, and you can then move it around. I'm not going to move it too far because they've, you know, it's where I want it. So, but I quite like that. You know, I think, I mean, overall, I mean, I think actually, I'll talk about the shell. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? So, in terms of the snare bed, talking about there. Now, these are relatively pronounced. See if we can. There you go. Obviously, I'll get my ugly mug out of the way, and that'll. So hopefully you can sort of see where the snare bed is sitting. It's not the widest. You could get 42s on there. It's not the widest, but it is. It's quite deep, and it's quite pronounced. The edges are. Well, the edges are yeah, fairly full looking actually. I would probably need to check just what they are. I mean, it looks like a regular 45. It certainly feels like a regular 45 as well. But you know, I mean, I think the thing is, it's kind of one of those. It's a modern snare drum design, and it's a modern sort of standalone type thing, in that it's not trying to be a 400, or it's not trying to be like a Craviotto, or you know, it's there, and it's, you know, it's sitting on its own as its own sort of identity and its own character. So I think that's enough from me. This is what it sounds like, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and I forgot to say, Matt from Sear Drums in the UK actually has the 14x6.5 version. He sent me a video of it, and it does sound cracking. So there you go. I actually do. If you want something a little different, I genuinely recommend these drums if you can find them, because I think, as I said, they are discontinued. But if you can find one for a good price, I think you're probably onto a winner there. So